We worked through the weekend on a stopgap measure. We recognize that we may not get all the appropriations bills done by this deadline of November 17th, but we are going to continue in good faith. And the difference between what we call on Capitol Hill a continuing resolution now and what we've dealt with in years past is that this would allow us time, and everybody understands, allow us time to continue this appropriations process. We're committed to bringing 12 bills to the floor.
That was Speaker of the House Mike Johnson speaking with Fox News as the deadline for a government shutdown ticks closer yet again. We're like 11 days away. This feels like we should be a lot more urgent here. Annmarie Hordern joins us now with details. Could something actually happen, like working through the nights and weekends, actually going to get a deal done?
It very much feels like deja vu in Washington, and it feels like potentially this is very close. It's next Friday, November 17th, when the government would run out of funding, and we'd have to see some sort of stopgap measure or continuing resolution, but they do have some time at the moment. This week, you're likely not going to see a CR brought to the floor. What Speaker Johnson is going to do is continuously try to pass the appropriation bills. They're making them very conservative appropriation bills, and this is really a way for him to score some points among the hard right flank of his party. Potentially, then they allow him, if all those appropriation bills are not done, they're not going to be done, that maybe they allow him to put forward a continuing resolution to keep the government open. He has said in the past he'd be open for something in January or April. Or also, a third approach would be this ladder approach, what he's called it, staggering out potentially the funding of certain agencies. That really hasn't been done before. I guess that would be the old way of appropriation bills. But these are the kind of discussions that are happening right now in Congress to make sure the government does remain open, but it does look like he does have this honeymoon phase amongst his caucus to bring forward a measure to keep the government open.
But Annmarie, we then come back to this again. If the honeymoon period lasts until we get this one done, how long does this one last? How much rope are they going to give him on the right of his party?
That's a great question. I guess it really matters what can get done between, say, November 17th and January 15th or November 17th and April 15th once they decide on that deadline. There's a number of bills, though. Last week, he was able to push through the Israeli funding bill that also came with rescission of funds for the IRS. So he is showing his party that he can get conservative measures through the House of Representatives, and that's buying him some goodwill. But it's a great question because, remember, Speaker McCarthy put a continuing resolution on the House floor, and it cost him his job last time.
Exactly.